All right, good morning, everybody. Gonna do our pre-market outlook. This is Beach the Money Honey. I like to start off with crypto because that is our super on fire market this morning. And right now we're taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily. We're currently at 92.3. Keep in mind that we do have some economic news coming out this morning at 8:30, building permits. So this could cause the price to fluctuate. But if you look at the overall crypto market this morning, we are mixed. A lot of the altcoins are down. So, Bitcoin is kind of the exception right now because we are killing it on our way to 100,000. And if you look at my daily chart, take profit on this is 102. I would say we're going to go higher just because we're going to cross this fourth resistance level at 99.7. And usually when we've got a second take a profit over a key resistance level, that means we're heading generally to the next resistance level. So that would be my overall target somewhere in, the 105 or 106 to 108 range. But you can see we are in an upward trend and marching higher. I love to see that. Overall, let's take a look at the futures market. We are down a little bit on the S&P, the Nasdaq 100 minis. We did have some news come out overnight about President Putin not so happy with the U.S. Uh, updating, or excuse me, allowing Ukraine to use U.S. long-range missiles, and so they have now started the nuclear saber rattling and updated their doctrine. So that's never positive news for the markets. We are mixed going into this economic data as well. So just keep an eye on what happens at 8:30. If you can see oil futures ticking up a little bit. Um, and the VIX is ticking up a little bit too. Of course, we've got the Dow down over 200 points. So that's not looking so great for the day. I'm expecting there be mixed volatility this morning, and hopefully we'll straighten out and get through it and trend upward later on in the afternoon session. Let's take a look at some of my watch list. We've got a lot of the higher, the large caps in there. Amazon down a little bit. I like to kind of take a look at the daily chart. I'm mainly a swing trader. I do some day trading here and there, but for the most part, my profits seem to be the highest when I'm a day trader. And right now, we're doing a little bit of a pullback. If you can see, we're down below this VWAP here, and we do have not a strong signal for a pullback, but this is typically my signal for a pullback. We can see that we're in an uptrend overall, but we may come down and touch this resistance one level. That's for Amazon. Apple, we were up yesterday. We're coming out of this pullback. We're over the VWAP. I would wait for a candle close. So the next candle before we got back in and traveled up to possibly 235. And if we break out of this channel, then the next would be this 244 resistance level. AMD, we're trending downwards. Before I would get back in, I would watch these take profit levels that we've got listed here. We may touch the bottom of this channel, and if we hold the support of 123, then I would consider getting back in, to kind of catch some of these upward profits. All right, let's take a look at Coinbase. Since we've got Bitcoin in this hot market, we have been in a range for a while, but we have broken out of this range and now looks like we're targeting It's got a take profit of 384. I would watch this resistance level 5 first, and then decide if we break through this resistance level and then we hold that test and we start to move upwards, then that's when we're going to be targeting this 384 level. All right, I want to take a look at Meta or Facebook. We are in a solid upward trend. We do have these pullback signals, and we've got this take profit target here, but I am not so sure that we're actually going to make it down. I would watch for this level to hold and then a strong candle over and above the 560 level before I got in and took another long. And if that is the case, if you can see, we have been kind of, holding steady in this upward trend. So we bounce off the bottom level here, and then we take it back up to the linear. The top, I'm guessing that that's probably what we're going to do here, but just watch for a candle close above the 552 level before you get in and take that long. All right, Google, let's take a look at this one. We have been trending downward, slightly downward. Looks like, we've got a bottom take profit level of 155 if you're shorting this. And this to me signals that we're going to hold this 154 level. And we may even start, moving back in an upwards trend. If you remember, Google had some not so fantastic earnings. Well, I mean, they've got great earnings. They're a strong company. Overall, I don't think you can go wrong with Google. They're not going anywhere. But we've been having a little bit of a downward trend with Google. It may just be a Fibonacci pullback, so to speak. You can see we stopped here. I'm going to guess this was probably around, well, we could put a fib on it and see what we've got here. Let's do that. Let's start from this upward trend and see how far we actually pulled back. And we can hardly even read these levels, but look, we're looking at, we went just about 60% on the fib there. So anyway, this may switch and change around. If we stop right here at this 155 level, then my guess would be we're going to start to move back up, and we may even see a higher high by the spring of next year in Google. So watch these levels to hold and then start to trim upwards before you get in any longs. All right, I want to take a look at some of the financials. Here's JP Morgan. We're moving strong since Trump was selected to be our next president. I would say they're probably pretty solid on this take profit of 264, considering that we have broken out of this trend, and that's signaling to us that we're going to continue our upward march. So just keep an eye on that as well. Let's look at some of these mining stocks. Mara, we're in a down day right now. But I would say that, we're going to be starting to move up, especially since we're seeing these take profit levels here. I would want to have this pivot level hold of 17. And then we can start seeing some higher highs. You can see we've kind of scooped out a bottom there. So once we hold on this, I would even consider going in on a long. MicroStrategy, this is my darling. I love this stock. We had a huge day yesterday. It was a $44 gain. And if you got in that on the bottom and rode it, you did pretty well for yourself nicely. We have hit this second take profit on the daily. So expect maybe a little bit of a pullback on this. I would say, it would be not unreasonable to go all the way down to this 334 level. But, certainly between the 340, 350 level before we start marching up again. This company is just a beast. They're acquiring Bitcoin by the billions. So, already in pre-market, we're up close to 400. I don't think you can go wrong with this thing, especially since we're in a Bitcoin bull run through the middle to end of next year. You're just going to see massive gains on this stock. So, just wait for your opportunities to enter. Typically I like to look on the hourly charts. And if you look at this thing, this is where we're projected to go today. So the next level we're going to hit is 429. You can even drill down into the smaller time frames to find your perfect entry. Go down in the 5-minute chart and watch till this thing kind of hits the bottom of this channel, and then get your entry in there. So I would be looking probably, I don't know, you might not even catch it because this thing's so strong. But just wait for that pullback to get your entry. Probably around 392 at this point is going to be your best way to get in today if you're going to trade this thing. All right, let's take a look at PayPal. Unfortunately, short term, we're in a downtrend. Let me get my chart back here. But overall, we are in an uptrend. So look for your entry on the bottom of the channel, probably around, between 83, 85, going to be your best bet. We've got a take profit target of 94. I would say that's reasonable before we get our next pullback on PayPal. All right, let's take a look at, we'll take a look at the SPY today to see what we're doing. Right now, we're in the middle of a pullback. So, generally speaking, where we are, we're under the VWAP. Look for this level of 581 to hold before you go long again. If you can see, in the long term, we do have a take profit of 619. I don't think that's unreasonable before the end of the year. But look for this level to hold. If the 581 level does not hold, good chance you're going to be, around the bottom here of this range at 575, 576 before we, get back in on the SPY. Just pay attention to the news because that's going to have a major effect on whether we are, we're going for a little bit more of a pullback. We have been marching pretty strong upwards, especially since the election. But anything can happen, especially since we have these global threats out there right now. Tesla. Tesla's been, off the charts, especially since Elon has been in tight with Trump. Right now we're targeting that 373 level. I don't think that's unreasonable at all, given the circumstances. But we're down a little bit today. I would be looking for my ideal entry on the smaller time frames. Wait till we get through this news. We do have we don't have earnings or anything, but a lot of times these news events, especially what we've got coming up today, could affect this stock in the short term. So you can see we've been kind of moving down. But if you want to put a pattern on this is the 5-minute time frame. This looks like a bull flag to me. So I would be watching in the short term for this breakout. See that baby right there? And then we're marching higher. As soon as we get through this news this morning, I would expect that Tesla's going to go off again. But just watch for a break of the either way there. All right, Walmart. They just had some earnings come out today. Right now in the short term, it's down, but Walmart is marching higher. So I would fully expect this thing to change once we get finished with this pullback. We may not go farther than the 83.80 level. They just revised their guidance upwards, and we've got the holidays in full swing. So I would say Walmart's a good bet through first quarter next year if you want to get in on that action there. We can see we're up $3 today already pre-market. So get through the news and then watch to find your perfect entry on the short term. So we're on the 5-minute chart here, and it looks like we got a little bull flag forming here. So showing a short-term take profit of 88.45. I'd say Walmart's probably a great intraday trade. All right, couple of more, and then we will go ahead and wrap it up. Netflix, they're going crazy as well. I mean, I don't know. Netflix is just killing it lately, especially since we had that all of those views with the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. That was incredible. We have hit the top of this range, so I would expect a little bit of a pullback, but certainly this baby is just marching, marching higher. I would not be surprised to see them hit, 1,000 a share, um, you know, during the first quarter of next year. So keep your eye on that. Microsoft, we have been, in a little bit of a pullback, completely expected, but just watch how far this thing could go before you get your re-entry. I'm targeting this 380 range because you can see we've got ourselves a nice little head and shoulders here. So, I would think that once we kind of play this thing out, and we bottom out, between 360, 380. I'd be looking to get in on a Microsoft. You just can't go wrong with what they've got going on at this company, and it's one of our cornerstones, for our super growth stocks. So, Nvidia, same thing. We're in a little bit of a pullback, but I don't think you can go wrong with our darling Nvidia. We're just marching higher since we've split. I don't think anything's going to change on that, especially the demand that we've got going on with all the different applications and chip stocks. All right. That's pretty much all I really wanted to take a look at. Other than Occidental, this thing could switch on us really quickly, especially if we have any more further escalations. Looks like we're going to bottom out to take profits around 44, 45. I would be looking to get in if this thing bottoms out and holds this level. We're going to see these things tick up, and especially, going into the winter. I don't know. I think any natural gas oil play right now is certainly probably not a bad idea, but just watch for it to hold and then flip when you get a strong buy signal. Um, they say buy when things are at their bottom, and I don't know. This is a pretty strong company. I don't think we can go wrong unless they completely screw this thing up. But again, that's a contrarian play. Just be careful when you do get into these contrarian plays. Um, they could flip against you, but given the circumstances that we have out there right now, probably not a bad idea for a long-term investment. We can see that we're kind of already starting to, you know, put the halt on. It looks like we've got a little bit of maybe a bottom forming here, but just watch it. Could be that we're coming down to these second support levels before it finally does move up. But if we hold these levels, I wouldn't be surprised to see this baby break out. All right, that is pretty much all we have for today. I want to thank you for joining me. Watch out for those earnings. And if you are interested in getting more alerts, any day trading ideas, learning from trading, technical analysis, any of that kind of good stuff, you can certainly join my Discord channel. I'll put the link in the comments below, and feel free to comment on any of my takes. Just keep in mind that this is not financial advice. Trade at your own risk. Trading is risky, and good luck out there. Thanks so much. Take care.